wanted me to eat better so I might live longer. Well, talking about your death is never an easy topic, right? But it's something, yeah, you're going to have to think about eventually. Here to discuss the who, what, and whys of dying is Rhondale Haywood of PNC Financial Services Group. You've been here a couple of times before. We're always happy to have you here. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
My mother called me the other day, and she had filled out a will for me where you do one of those little things where you get it at the post office or something like that.
Fill in your name.
Yeah.
Close it up. Put it in safe deposit box.
Yeah, and she had seen some type of TV show, and she said, I don't believe in that right now. You need to go and make sure you talk to somebody, and I'll send you the money to help you out if you need it. I'm like, okay, well, we appreciate that. So she was worried about, making sure that all the stuff that I've gotten through the years will go to somebody in the family, right? So, what happens if a person isn't properly prepared?
That's a good question. For whatever reason, people don't like to talk about dying. The statistics are conclusive. 100% of us will die at some point.
It's amazing.
So you might as well, it is amazing. You might as well be prepared.
Yes,
and the big thing that we hear a lot is, well, I don't have anything, or my spouse is going to get everything anyway. What's the point of me trying to put a will together like you just said?
Right.
Well, it sounds like something Abraham Lincoln would say, but I believe the sum of a man or a woman is more than just their possessions. So if you happen to not have any, that doesn't mean that you don't have to plan. Other things you should think about is having documents outside of a will, like a healthcare power of attorney. That's the document that allows somebody else to make health decisions on your behalf should you get a terminal illness or something like that and you can't make decisions on your behalf.
Right.
What if you have children? You got to appoint guardians for them. We have a lot of single parents out there. Something happened to you, you want to be able to dictate who takes care of your children should something happen to you. Something I think is more important that you can leave to your family or your loved ones is your legacy. Your values, how are you going to pass that on?
Right.
You don't need a will for that. You could have, what I call a family love letter. These are the things that are important to me. This is the most I've accomplished in my life.
These are more things that are tangible, so to speak, things in your house maybe? Is that what you're talking about?
It could be a little bit of both. The intangibles are the values. Okay. The tangibles are your items like the wedding ring or the suit that I wore when I met your mother or something like that.
Right.
I always recommend clients, this is sort of the why of dying, is put a why behind your articles or your objects that are important to you. Some sort of vignette. Write a nice letter to say, we found this, our first couch we bought at a thrift store out somewhere in Pennsylvania, and we had it for 25 years. Those kind of things are precious.
Right.
And if you're the loved one that got left behind, you love to hear stuff like that.
Okay. Now, I would imagine probably the biggest problem to all this is cost. And, I'm sure people sit at home and they say, I'm going to leave this and do this. Is it, I know it's cost efficient, but is it wise to try to write your own will out and sign it or whatever the case may be? And do you need witnesses as well when you sign it? A lot of questions come around.
There's a lot of questions. You can die anywhere from without a will, which is called intestate, which basically means no will, to all the way having to see an attorney and having something drawn up. I recommend the latter.
Okay.
If you absolutely can't do that, then I would certainly, at the very least, have something written yourself. In order to sort of prove the will, it's always helpful to have it notarized. A lot of the times, if you have a bank account at a bank, they'll notarize documents for you without any additional expense. And if not, you can always get something done for $30 to $35. I mean, that really goes to the what of dying. I've heard tons of horror stories about families that have lost the key financial person in the family, and they didn't know where anything was.
Wow.
How many times have we heard, the husband dies, usually that's the case, and the wife doesn't know where the insurance accounts are, they don't know what the financial statements are, and they can't get their hands on any money.
It's a huge mess, isn't it?
It's a
trying
huge
to clear
mess.
out of that. That's
and
crazy.
We love our family members. We don't want to live them in that state. We recommend having one summary document. Here's my list of accounts. Here are my passwords. You think about how digital we are these days.
Yes.
You think about your life on your cell phone and your iPod.
Yes.
Right.
It takes some time though to do that, doesn't it?
Does.
You got to get prepared. We're talking about days to get this kind of stuff.
It does.
Right?
But you know what? The rewards are going to be endless. I have countless stories of widows or widowers that have been left behind with a disorganized estate, and you couple the drama of losing a loved one and not knowing how to get to money, not knowing where the cemetery plot information is. Get it all together, tell your loved one, hey, this is where you can get everything should something happen to me.
Take that time. It's important to do, right?
Exactly.
All
Absolutely.
right. For more information on how to contact Rhondale, log on to WBTV.com, look in the web extra section under the home tab, and I'm going to make my mother happy. I'm going to get some stuff done here, all right? Rhondale, appreciate
Sounds
it.
good. Always
to
a
see
pleasure.
You. All right. We're going to be right back with more news on WBTV News on Bounce.